Hey guys, are the fog lights on your 1982 to 1992 Camaro starting to rust? Or perhaps the paint is starting to chip away and you want to recondition them? Well, keep watching, as today I'm going to show you not only what paint to get that will match your OEM paint, but I will also show you how to repaint and recondition your old beat up fog lights to give them that once again brand new appearance, allowing you to go from this to this. So, keep watching. Now, just a quick thing. If you enjoy the videos that I put on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you do decide to subscribe, please write "I subscribed" in the comments below, and I'll be sure to reply to each one of your comments. It really does help the channel. Thanks, guys. Now, let's get back to the video. So, let's start off the video by showing you exactly what we're working with here. Now, believe it or not, these are actually the reproduction OEM style fog lights from Hawks Motorsports, in which I did a review video on them back in 2020. Now, if you're interested in watching that video, I'll leave the link in the description box below. Surprisingly, after that review, the finish on them didn't actually last all that long, because what you see here is a condition of them 2 years later. Now, one thing that should be noted is that clearly is from sun and rain and not from me driving or having rock chips, because I barely drive my car. You know, it's rare for me to even drive more than, say, 2,000 kilometers a year. And even if that, I also try to avoid the freeway as much as possible. So unfortunately, this is just the quality of that product. Now, as far as the spray paint goes, there is so many spray paints out there. So which one are we going to use? Which one is the best? Well, after much research, both online and talking to painters and those who have restored their own Camaros, I absolutely feel I found the best. It's called SEM Trim Paint, part number 39143. It's an aerosol can, in which in my case was a 15-ounce can. For me here in Canada, buying it on Amazon, even with my Prime and free shipping, it was not cheap. In fact, it actually ended up costing me $46 Canadian. While it is not cheap, it is absolutely worth its weight in gold. It has a fantastic spray nozzle, produces a very fine controllable mist, which means you don't need to use much, and so the can goes a long way. Plus, not only that, but you can also spray over rust and doesn't need any primer, not to mention that it dries fast and even. So stay tuned on the channel, because I will be doing a review on this product. Alright, so let's begin. Start by, of course, removing the fog lights from your car. Next, I would suggest measuring the distance of the adjuster threads, just so you can be sure that they're adjusted correctly once you rebuild it. Now for mine, both sides were 1/2 inch. Next, start the disassembly process. Before we start painting, we need to prep the surface. First, be sure to put on your gloves to help prevent your natural oil on your skin from contaminating your prepped surface. And because to clean all the dirt and oil from the surface, you're going to need to use a mild cleaner or degreaser. For me, I used mineral spirits. Next, mask off with painter's tape all the areas on the fog lights that you don't want painted. I would really suggest sanding down the surface. While this particular paint can actually be applied over rust and it doesn't need a primer, you will get a better result in the end and sand down to a nice clean flat surface. I found the 3M Red paint and body scuff pad worked perfectly for me. After I was satisfied with results and re-cleaning the surface, I ended up with this. By the way, I'll also be spraying down the bolts, in which I'll show you the results a little later on in the video. For painting, it's best to find a way to be able to get access to all the areas. For me, I found a clothes dryer rack that actually worked perfect. I lined it with black garbage bags and threaded a wire through the top of the fog light adjuster hole where the bolt threads through. Alright, so let's start getting down to painting. With your gloves on, and don't forget to put on a mask, begin to fine mist the surface. Applying multiple fine mist applications will give you the best results. We can apply a more thorough coat later on. Once you're done with your first fine mist spray, let it dry on a nice sunny day for at least 5 minutes. After allowing it to dry, give the can a good shaking once again, and then apply another fine mist. And again, wait for about 5 minutes or so to dry. Begin by shaking the can a good full minute. We also want to make sure that we're shaking the can in between each coat. Now this is crucial for a good, clean, and fine mist coverage. And we're going to continue this with a couple more coats, allowing it to dry about 5 minutes in between. Now that we have some fine mist coverage, we can concentrate on a little bit more coverage. Now I let mine sit outside in the sun for about an hour or so just to make sure everything was fully dry before I started to reassemble it. And here's what they look like after paint. I also painted the bolts as well. I found it easy by sticking them in the top of a cardboard box. After carefully removing the painter's tape, this is how they came out. And after reassembling them back together, here's what they look like. And this is the final results afterwards. Quite a lot better than where they started from, wouldn't you say? And there we go, reinstalled into the car. Very, very happy. Let me know in the comments below if you've painted your fog lights or any other metal trim on your car and what paint you ended up using. Now I hope this video was of help to you. If you're interested in seeing the initial review on these fog lights, I'll post them in the link of the description below. Now with lots more videos coming down the line, now would be a great time to subscribe so you don't miss out. Remember, if you do subscribe, please be sure to write "I subscribed" in the comments below, and that way I'll be sure to reply to each one of your comments. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you on the next video.